watching the Highlight Zone with Wayne 15 Sports Director Glenn Marini. Local sports coverage you can count on.
Just winning, we all in, just winning. We all in, just winning. We all in, just winning. We want the win, I see it with my eyes closed.
Just try to go to war with everybody. You know, you just disregard who, it doesn't matter who you play.
Last year we were young, so we got a lot of talent coming back this year. It's kind of either you have that or you don't.
I think that we'll prove that we can compete.
We just use it as fuel because we know what we're capable of.
Well, when it comes to this time of year, it seems tradition trumps technology. But that won't be the case at this year's SAC Holiday Tournament. You see, this year, instead of the seeding going by coaches voting, they're going to seed the tournament by Sagarin ratings. Those computations to be done next week, meaning this week, a crucial time to raise your rating. With that, we bring you Northrop and Bishop Luers for your Highlight Zone Game of the Week, and it was a good one. Rod Chamble's team won a share of the SAC title last year. Meanwhile, Luers making leaps in Fonzo White's second season, and that's first quarter action to Marcus Hudson. He had 26 on the game. Luers out to an early lead. Kamani Smith, though, kid is tough, a matchup problem. He had 11, and this one back and forth early on. Nayland Thompson nailing the shots. Thompson, a couple threes. He had 19 on the game, and Luers jumps out to an 11-2 lead. Fast forward to the fourth quarter, Elijah Fincher and one. He had 10 points. It's a 7-point lead, though, for Luers, and Schiffer then passes it off, and if you give it, you shall receive as well. North with the bucket, and Fonzo White's team comes up with a big victory in your Game of the Week. It's Luers 71, Northrop 65.
Well, last year we usually started out slow. Today we started out faster, and we came out in that second half ready to fight. Actually, it was wonderful to have this game at home. The great energy from the student section, from the players coming out. Both student sections were going at it, so it was a good outing.
Well, I felt like our guys were focused tonight, and they did a lot of things well for us. We handled their press that they put on us, and we fought. We fought like we always do, and that's one thing that you're going to get out of Bishop Luers is that we're going to always fight.
Oh, you gotta love it. Next up, Northrop is at home against Leo on Tuesday, then Southside on Friday. Meanwhile, Luers off until the Knights travel to Homestead next Friday nights. And speaking of the Spartans, Homestead ranked 14th in this week's 4A state poll. The Spartans at Bishop DWENGER, and Brendan Lytle transitioning from the quarterback position to a little shooting guard. He had 3 there, 12 points on the game for Lytle. Then it's Jake Archbold with the deuce. Homestead looking pretty good early on. Zach Kruger, he was an Indiana Junior All-Star last season. He knocks it down. Homestead up by 5 in the first. Here's a name to know, Owen Shively, the DWENGER sophomore, 6'3". He had 15 points. That would lead the Saints, but Homestead, so many weapons. Great passing inside to Alec Grinsfelder for 2. And then you're going to see the junior, Luke Goody, picked up an offer from Louisville last week. He gets the bucket as Homestead wins at DWENGER 61-46. SNIDER and Wayne, the Panthers ranked 22nd in the 4A state poll. Wayne's Byron Pickens making his Highlight Zone head coaching debut, and it would be a dandy. We're talking SNIDER and Wayne and Jaquan Kaiser with the bucket, but it's SNIDER up 15-12 in the first. How about Carson Jenkins? More than just a shooter. Jenkins with the bucket, and SNIDER's lead at 5. How about second quarter action? Elijah Wimby looking for Jay-Sean Underwood for 2, and SNIDER's lead now at 7. The Panthers feeling pretty good. Michael Redding shooting runs in the family. Watch the lefty stroke, and he knows he got it, baby. 20-15 at that point. Then you're going to see Cam Tolles with the take, and Wayne, Byron Pickens and company doing it up big. The Generals take down SNIDER 53-50. At Charger Fieldhouse, Carroll already with a 14-point win over Penn under its belt this season. The Chargers battling Concordia. First quarter action, Richie Gross to Cody Berkey for 3. And Carroll jumps out to a 10-zip lead. This is Isaiah Robinson for Phil Brockman's team. He knocks down the triple. That would get the Cadets on the board, and then they start to chip away in this one. Second quarter action now. It's Braden Pearson, who can be dangerous scoring the basketball. He gets the bucket, and it's now just a 21-18 lead for Carroll. But Jalen Jackson, watch this dime. The sophomore dropping one inside. Beautiful basketball to Gross with the layup. It's a 26-18 Carroll advantage. And then, yeah, very little time left in the second quarter. It's Berkey beating the buzzer as Carroll goes on to win over the Cadets 71-37, your final. The totem pole of the hardwood, the newly minted Reichert A Memorial Trophies now getting handed out to the winner of the Northside-Southside game. Austin Jordan said, hey, I want a piece of that. He gets the layup, and Southside up by a deuce early on. Later, watch Jordan come flying in off the miss. He gets the tip in, and Southside stakes itself to a 4-point lead. More from the Archers. Travion Jones. They're named the Archers. You figure their marksmanship is pretty darn good. He gets the shooter's touch right there. It's an 8-2 Southside lead. Jalen Lattimore, kids only a sophomore, is a beast on the football field. He can hoop it as well. It's now a 10-point lead in the first quarter for Southside. You're going to see Isaiah Moore with the bucket here for the Legends, but Southside takes home that beautiful traveling trophy, the final 92-61 Archers over the Legends. Final stop for boys at Paul Bateman Gymnasium last Friday night. Garrett's Jaden Broadnax scoring 39 points against Lakewood Park, the senior right there, named one of the state's Players of the Week by the Indiana Basketball Coaches Association. Tip O the cap. Dyer Ball says, hey, what about me? Yeah, the Angola senior knocks down the three. That's the first bucket of this game. And then it's who else but Mr. Broadnax. He can handle it. He can shoot it. He can get to the rack. He's about 6'4", 6'5". Yeah, he's a tough matchup in high school basketball, really anywhere. He had the bucket there. That would get Garrett on the board. How about Jacob Bradley? For three for the men in purple. Angola out to an early lead. They do not let up at Bateman Gymnasium. It's Tucker Hasselman for a bucket of his own as Angola goes in to Garrett and stops the big train. 54 a buzz tonight. Well, we're going to take a quick timeout, but when we come back, we're going to hit up a strong slate of girls basketball. In the SAC, we're talking about an emotional night for Homestead. Spartans playing without their head coach for the last 19 seasons. That and stops at Southside, Carroll, Lewis, Wayne, and Columbia City. All up next in the Zone.
We're the Columbia City Eagles! We're the Freshman Knights! We're the Wayne Generals and you're watching the highlights!
The Homestead girls basketball team has had plenty to cheer about over the years, but right now the Spartans are facing some unfortunate tough times. Coach Rod Parker diagnosed with cancer. He had surgery earlier this week and will take a leave of absence. Meanwhile, Kara Ankenbrook taking over as the team's interim head coach as the Spartans trying to stay perfect in the SAC while traveling to Dwenger. First quarter, well, the coach's kid, it's Riley Parker nailing the three. She had a huge game. Talk more about that in just a second, but then it's Sydney Graber, the future Central Michigan Chippewa, with the layup. Homestead up by 5 early on. My man Aaron sporting a little highlight zone love. You gotta love it. Molly Ream for Dwenger with the layup here. That cuts into the Homestead lead, but Parker with the three. Homestead jumps out to a 13-2 lead. Off the inbound, it's Cecilia Garrett for Bishop Dwenger with the jumper. But watch Parker. 3 over 20 coming up here. She was 6 of 8 on threes as Homestead wins one for Coach Parker, 61-15.
The key was really dependent to the post from the beginning, and after they really started to double down to kick it out, and we were fortunate enough we had a fairly good amount of threes made tonight.
It's good. We did everything for him. We wanted to play hard just with him not being on the sideline. We just made us play harder, and so it was bigger than basketball in that situation.
You know, he's in recovery right now. We don't really have a timetable now, but Ankenbrook has been able to come in today and coach really well, and she's going to continue to do so until my dad gets back. So I have all the confidence in the world that we're going to be the same team with or without him.
And we certainly wish Coach the best. Hey, Southside 2-0 in the conference. Archers looking to stay in that title hunt with Homestead. South hosting Northside. Woodson, the Youngstown State commit with the bucket down low as Southside builds an early lead. Then, you know what, J.C. Jones going to play D1 basketball as well. The Detroit Mercy signing with the bucket. Southside jumps out to a 6-zip lead, and they weren't done. Juanita Goodwell wants some 3 balls after a couple of layups. Good idea. J.C. Jones with the 3. It's a 9-zip Southside. You're going to see Northside get on the board here. They whip it around. It's Jasmine Chambers knocking down the 3 for the Legends, but Southside wins this baby going away 86-27 Archers. At Charger Fieldhouse, 7-2 Concordia, 7-3 Carroll. The Chargers getting it going with some defense. It's Olivia Hepner with the pilfer and the pair. And you know what? If it worked once, why not do it again? You're going to see Carroll with a little fast break action here. It's Hepner who would eventually get the layup, and Carroll with an early lead. Now, Shantice Craig, she can play some basketball. If my numbers are right, she had 13 points. That would lead Concordia. Ooh, great spin move there. 16-8 though, Carroll in the lead. You're going to see Sanaya Jackson on the kick out here, pop the triple. Coach Redding earning his 300th win for Carroll as the Chargers take it 49-31 over visiting Concordia. The Bishop Lures ranked 10th in the latest 3A state poll. The Knights hosting Northrop as the Fighting Pixleys looking to pick up a W. Amanda Thatcher hoping that didn't happen. Yeah, the Bruins star with the bucket there. But you're going to see Dory Javens with a bucket as it rattled home and one for Lures. The Bruins defense leading to some easy buckets. You're going to see Thatcher again ahead of the pack for the deuce. But Lydia Reinbold, the Bellarmine University signee, simply too much. 26 points for the senior as Lures wins a good one against Northrop 55-50. Knights victorious. Last stop in the SAC tonight, Snider at Wayne. Both teams looking for that first conference W. And this is going to help if you're Wayne. Jasmine Mims to Shabrea O'Quinn. She puts the deuce in, and Wayne up in the third quarter, 21-20. Now Peyton Gorman going to run track at Bowling Green, finds the basket there, and Snider takes back the lead at 22-21. Then it's Gorman, unselfish, inbounding it to Samantha Kavish, and she lays it up. Snider up by a pair. You're going to see Wayne's Amelia Diaz dial long distance here. Wayne hung around in this one, but it's Snider eventually winning it 39-31 against the Generals. Over at Donald S. Weeks Gymnasium, two of the top teams in the Northeast State when we're talking girls basketball. 7-2 Norwell at 6-3 Columbia City. Columbia City scrapping, and eventually it's Braden Licky with the bucket right there, and that is the first bucket of the game as Columbia City grabs an early lead. Then, right out of Columbia City's hands, it's Norwell running the break. Breanne Barger gets the deuce, and Norwell looking good, now up 9-6. But it was Columbia City's night. Anna Schrader to Carly Mabey, and it would be Gabby Fry bringing it. And Columbia City wins against Norwell 48-46. We got more Highlight Zone, including your Gem of the Night, coming up after the break.
We're team focused! More Highlight Zone after this! Woo!
Well, it seems dangerous to me, but the Garrett Railroader cheerleaders certainly know what they're doing. We know what we're doing here on the Highlight Zone, and when it comes to picking your Gem of the Night is what we're going to do next. And you know what? That Gem of the Night, we're going to have to go back out to Bishop Lures. Bonzo White, second season, right? He has turned things around, and this is kind of indicative of what has happened. Lucas North with the defense, feeds it back to Landon Moore, who gives it back to North. That is just unselfish play. Good defense, unselfishness, buckets. Bishop Lures, a winner, 61-55 over a solid Northrop team, and Lucas North delivering your Gem of the Night, courtesy of Peter Franklin Jewelers. Key games for next week. Yeah, doubleheaders pretty much everywhere in Northeast Indiana. We're talking about Canterbury at Blackhawk Christian ×2. In the SAC, Lures is at Homestead. That game gets more interesting after those wins tonight. Wayne travels to Carroll as Wayne coming off that big win in the boys' side over Snider. And you also see Snider at Northside while Central Noble is at West Noble. Again, all those on your screen, boys and girls double headers next Friday. Let's move on to some NBA G League action as the Mad Ants were at home. They were taking on an Erie Bayhawks squad, and you know what? They came out firing, and they came out with Walt Lemon Jr. This looks like an and one mixtape. He's just kind of walking around with the basketball, and nobody can guard him. He lays it in. Lemon squeezing the Bayhawks for 15 points tonight. And then you're going to see Lemon. He is unselfish. He would kick it to Stephen Hicks in the corner for three. Hicks would tie a career high with 32 points, and the Mad Ants were off and running. Naz Mitru Long, good to see him healthy. A reverse lay-in right there as the Ants win 109-93. These two teams play again tomorrow night at the Coliseum at 7 o'clock. After beating UConn at Madison Square Garden on Tuesday, the Hoosiers back at Assembly Hall and back to Big Ten play as they were taking on Nebraska. Second half, under a minute to go. Rob Finney puts IU up 6. Oh, but wait, Nebraska, the Cornhuskers. Yeah, they're fiery. Couple seconds left. Deshaun Burke with the three. That ties it at 82, and we go to overtime. In OT, how about Finney, the sophomore, draining the three to beat the shot clock. And then it's Trace Jackson-Davis. He had 25 points and 15 rebounds, both career highs. IU wins 96-90 in OT. Hoosiers off until next Saturday. That's when they play Notre Dame in the Crossroads Classic. Women's hoops. Former Highlight Zone regular Tatanai Hall, the Heritage grad, watching her alma mater, the University of Evansville, battle the Dons. Third quarter, Lola Bracey down low, or rather outside for three, as the Dons down by 12. Then they rally. Hannah Hess, the lefty, stroke 3 of her 14. Dons now down just 1. How about Hannah Albrecht with 3 of her 30 here as the Dons up by 2 there. And in the fourth quarter, you're going to see Shayla Sellers with the layup as the Dons win 67-64. Final stop, we're talking hockey news. Sandwich game of 3 straight in Idaho for the K's. First period, you're going to see Idaho's Ty Fellhaber with the goal here in front. It's 1-zip Idaho after 1. And what did they do when they score in Idaho? Well, they throw fish on the ice. And unfortunately, they would throw a lot of fish on the ice as currently the Comets are down 4-2 in the third. We'll see you next Friday night.